Hey, Songtown, welcome. Today we're going to talk about 5 things you'll never hear a pro writer say, or you'll never hear Songtown say.
The first one, number 1.
Now, hold on.
They're not in particular order.
Before we jump into it, I just want to say that we're not trying to throw shade on anybody. We're not trying to trash anybody. But it's just, we hop on YouTube and we see people creating videos about things that never even come up in a writing session in the real world where we've been for the last 20 years. So right. I just thought it'd be important to talk about some of these things that don't actually come up when you're on a pro writing session.
Yeah, awesome. So number 1, not in any particular order, but one of them you will never hear us say or a pro writer say is, let me share the secret hit song formula with you.
Oh.
Because there is no secret hit song formula. If you listen to hit songs, there are all kinds of different things. Now, there are some things you can learn.
There's lots of things you can learn.
So, you talk about active listening. If you use active listening, you can learn a lot from hit songs. But there's not a formula that, if I just know this secret, if I buy this course and get the secret, then all of a sudden I'm going to be writing hit after hit after hit,
Yeah, and if it does work one day, say you followed some magical formula and it worked, you can be guaranteed tomorrow that everything's changed so much, it's no longer going to really work.
Yeah, yep. And that's why you have to stay current with what's going on, and you have, make sure your songs are in the ballpark of what's going on in whatever genre you're writing.
Yes. Tip 2?
Tip number 2.
Speed songwriting.
Ooh.
There seems to be this obsession with, write songs fast. And that's literally one of the things that I have never been in a writing session and had an artist or a producer go, we've got to learn to write faster. Like it takes what it takes to write a good song,
Yeah.
My first number 1 song, when I was just starting out, I didn't know as much, about songwriting, but we just stuck with it. And Beautiful Mess, it took us like 3 writing sessions to finish that song. But we weren't obsessed with, this is taking a long time. You know how you'll often hear, like, if it doesn't come fast, it's not a good song.
I heard that many times.
Well, Beautiful Mess is played on the radio for 2 decades and is still earning money. And it didn't happen fast, and it's been on list for, not trying to toot my own horn, but it's been on like list of all-time great country songs and that kind of thing. So I think you just have to have this idea of you keep working on a song until it's as good as it can be.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
But don't you think if you had written Beautiful Mess fast, maybe it would have been on its charts for 30 years.
Maybe it went to number 1 on country. It went top 20 on the pop chart. Maybe it would have gone to number 1 on the pop chart too.
See, maybe you should have written it fast. I have a confession to make in this regard.
Yeah.
So people often, I write pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And people are often asking, like, well, what's the secret to that? And there's not really a secret. It's having done it for a long, long time. Right. And it's blueprinting and some things like that. But writing fast is never my goal. To your point, I want to give the song whatever it needs.
Yeah.
However many days that takes, or months or years or whatever. And so my confession is this. When we originally put out Song Building, you don't have that one out. When we put out Song Building, the book, the subtitle was Writing Better Songs Faster. And we're like, that's not what we want to promote.
No.
So we changed the subtitle to Mastering Lyric Writing.
Yeah. That sounds like a title AI would have written.
Yeah, it does. So we changed it. You ready for number 3?
I think so.
Here's 6 steps to earning 6 figures in the music business.
Oh, wow. Can you earn 6 figures in the music business?
You can. You can indeed.
It's amazing you can.
But there's not 6 steps to get there.
And there's not 6 easy, fast steps.
Right. But before I had a song that did that, I was writing songs for about 7, 8 years, maybe, something like that, and if there had been 6 easy steps, I would have done it a lot quicker than that. There's a lot of hard work that goes into earning 6 figures in any business, so if you hear that kind of thing, go, there might be a little extra hype in that statement.
Well, 2, you never really hear somebody that's making six figures in the music business go around saying, here's how to make six figures, because that's not what got them there.
Right.
You know what I mean? What got them there was focusing on the craft, becoming a better songwriter, showing up every day going, how can I be better than I was yesterday? How can I write a better song than I wrote yesterday? That's where the focus is. I've never been on a pro writing session, and we've talked about this. We've probably co-written, each of us, with thousands of people. I've never been on a session where we go, okay, this is going to make us six figures this month.
Right,
like,
yeah.
It just doesn't come up.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people outside of the business think that, writers are just writing to a formula so they can make money and they don't care. It couldn't be further for the truth. We're in the writing room, in the session with artists and with producers and other writers. We're focused on how can we take this idea we have and make it great.
Yeah.
The topic of how much is this idea going to make us more money than this? I don't know. Doesn't really happen that way.
I think too we get so passionate about our craft of songwriting and we love doing it that a lot of people overlook. If someone told you, here's 6 steps to make six figures in the legal business, well, the 6 steps would be go to law school for 3 or 4 years,
get really far in debt, and you
and
have that sometimes in music,
and then get a job as an apprentice lawyer for 10 years and work your way up to partner, and then maybe you're making six figures. So the answer to that would be it's a lot of hard work. So there's not quick easy fixes. There's not a shortcut. I've had people even ask me, like, what's the back door? What's the back door to the music business where you just skip all the hard work and you mail in your songs and they become hits, Right. So when you hear that kind of stuff, just be careful.
Yeah. I'm going to call it an audible because I think the next thing on our list, we've kind of bleeded that into things we've already talked about. But I saw the other day, there was an advertisement online, log into our site with your email and we'll send you the ultimate songwriting guide, the ultimate, Once again, it sounds like AI wrote this because when you put in your email address, I was curious. What I got back was like 10 blog articles. And it's like, where's my complete guide that covers everything? Everything I need to know. That's what your ad said.
Right.
So I think it's this obsession with this whole thing about trying to make songwriting easy. Songwriting is not easy. It's fun. Mm-hmm. And the fun part is realizing that you're going to do this for the rest of your life and you're going to try to get better every day for the rest of your life. You're going to grow. You're going to learn new things. That's what makes it exciting for me.
Right.
Now, it's hard work because you literally, if you want to make it your career, you've talked about how on Christmas Eve one time you were in the office sending out tapes to try to, back in the days when we sent out tapes, you'd be sending out MP3 files now or disco links.
That's right.
But it takes that. I heard Desmond Child say in the interview how he called up Diane Warren one time, his mentor, on a Saturday, and she was like, "Oh, I can't talk. I'll call you back later. I'm in a writing session." He's like, "Well, if she's writing on Saturday, I'm going to write every Saturday." So when you're your own boss, when you run your own company, if you had a restaurant, whatever it is, you're going to work a lot of hours, to make that happen. But if you're just doing it for fun, it's still the same goal. You want to be a better writer.
Right.
You don't want songwriting to be easy, because if you actually made it easy, it would be boring as hell. Right?
Yeah. Well, and what we all want to write, even if we're not trying to write to pitch to people, if we're playing at a coffee shop, we want to write that song that makes people go, "Oh my goodness, that song really moved me," or that touched me in some way, or they get up and dance during your song. you don't want it to be like, oh, there's another one, and there's another one, and
Here's another one that sounded like the last 5 I played you because I haven't learned anything new in 20 years.
exactly. And that's what's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to
That's
write
the easy
a
one,
boring
yeah.
song. It's not easy to write a song that stands out, So whether you're going to play it at your wedding or at a coffee shop or just for your family, you want it to be great, and that's hard. It's hard to be great in anything. I got one more.
Yeah.
And you stole the name I was going to use here, but I'm still going to go with it. Learn to write songs like Diane Warren.
Okay. Or Max Martin,
Yeah.
or Ashley Gorley,
Exactly.
or whoever. Yeah.
And the problem with that is that Diane Warren's already doing that really well. Diane Warren's writing songs like Diane Warren really, really well. So, and same with Max Martin, So your secret is to write your best truth.
Right.
And so, when you hear those things, you might could learn some things from those people because they're great.
Yeah, you can learn some really awesome tools and techniques, and that you can learn from listening to everyone that's a great songwriter.
Yeah. But your goal should not be to write songs like anybody else.
You don't want to write the secret Max Martin formula to go full circle to our first hit songwriting formula, because you see that a lot. Like, learn to write songs like Max Martin as if he has this magical thing. He's just really good, and he comes up with stuff that every time sounds fresh.
And he's got some really talented friends.
Yes,
as well.
Exactly. He's working with some talented artists. They're not hacks,
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, Songtown, thanks to Sweetwater, our sponsor. Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. If you have any questions, topics you want us to cover in the future, we'd love to hear from you. Cheers.
See you later.